Hello and welcome to everybody who has signed in today. You're listening to Money and Me, and I'm your host, Abhiruk Paricharya. The crypto market is seeing what many people believe to be a stabilization zone at the moment. Bitcoin is not rising too high, but neither is it falling, which leads speculations whether Bitcoin values are ever going to surge ahead into the future. But even besides Bitcoin, there has been a tremendous development occurring in the blockchain industry. Plenty of new DeFi projects are turning up, and a lot of countries have geared up to creating their own CBDCs, including Russia, which is recent news. So in all of this, it's very difficult for the average crypto investor to get really muddled up, to understand where all of these are headed. So for your benefit today, we've got an expert on the show who can hopefully guide us through the murky waters of crypto and maybe tell us about what's going on. He's the head of strategy at currency.com. And well, here is Vitaliy Kedyk. Hi, Vitaliy. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
So Vitaliy, tell us, it's been a chaotic last month for crypto enthusiasts like us. We saw Bitcoin at 50K, 60K US dollars, and then it fell. I think it closely fell to around 30K in the middle, 29K as well. Now it's doing a little better at 38, but it's still pretty uncertain. So what can you make some sense out of it for us? What's going on exactly?
I mean, cryptocurrencies are really volatile, right? And we do see this happening from time to time. Back in 2017, we saw this high volatility, which ended up with crypto winter. I don't think this is the case right now. From the investor point of view, I mean, cryptocurrency is a high risky asset. And if you diversify your portfolio, probably you shouldn't be investing all into cryptocurrency. Yes. So I would say invest basically what you are able to lose, unless you are young, you can make all. But yeah, that's very common for the cryptocurrency industry in general.
Right. So currency.com, you guys have such a unique name right off the bat. And obviously you guys don't just offer, you just don't offer crypto, you offer a lot more services as well. You give regulated tokenized securities, you have stocks, you have indices, you have commodities like gold and crude oil. You have a lot of things going on for you. So with so many offerings on the list, what is your biggest priority when it comes to trading?
Crypto has been huge for us for forever, basically. With our tokenized assets offering, it's not the commodities itself, it's actually tokenized commodities as well. So what we do is we tokenize the asset from the real world, and then we do the markets, allow the customers who don't have access to those assets under different circumstances to trade those assets in a tokenized forms.
Right. And even for cryptos itself, in your exchange, which crypto trading is more popular amongst your users?
Bitcoin, Ethereum, obviously, are the biggest ones. Dogecoin has been very popular for the last few months with huge support of its well-known team. I'm talking about Elon Musk, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, we do have big demand. We do have rise on the markets for Compound, Polkadot, like altcoins that are popular right now on the market. So I don't think we are quite exclusive in popularity of different assets on our platform. I would say we probably repeat the market.
Right. So I was going to ask this question to you later, but since we're on the topic, I'll just bring it up. So since there are so many new coins, and how would you explain the incredible growth of Dogecoin in the last couple of months? I mean, it's crazy because just to give a context, you may very well know this, but the coin was invented as a means of humor, basically, to poke fun at the new cryptos that were coming up. But now we see Dogecoin itself becoming so huge. So that's very ironic. So
it is.
Tell us what's going on. What is the market thinking at the moment?
It's been created as a meme. However, it's a Bitcoin fork basically. So it's a Bitcoin-like coin, and I mean, the main use case for it is the speculation, obviously.
Right.
I can't say I'm a strong believer into that coin, to be honest. However, I would say that because of Elon Musk's support and a great sense of humor of that guy, I can't comprehend whether he's actually serious about investing any resources to that and working with the Dogecoin team to develop it. But I can imagine, I'm not saying it's happening, but I can imagine the situation where you can buy Tesla with Dogecoin. Just a matter of a joke. And it will obviously pump the coin again.
Definitely. And there were reports that Musk was considering involving Dogecoin development to improve the coin, and maybe Tesla would even take it. But fine, moving aside from Dogecoin, let's take a more direct approach towards currency.com itself. So I recently read that you guys are expanding your presence in the US, which is a much awaited move. And definitely the US market is one of the biggest in the world right now for crypto. So what is your strategy for currency.com future in the US, and what sort of financial products will you be offering to your clients?
Yeah, thanks for this question. I would say we are not exclusive in our strategy for the US. US is obviously very, very attractive in terms of the market size and depth for us. We are currently building an ecosystem of different financial products around the crypto and decentralized assets. So for the US, we do have plans for launching a simplified kind of crypto app with the hosted wallet functionality and a wide menu of different coins, together with the educational content as well. So this will be a first step on the US soil for us to kind of start building this community of early investors into crypto. And then we'll be growing our product portfolio in the US, product offering in the US, together with kind of education of the customers that we've onboarded to the first product.
Right. But then you must be very well aware that right now the crypto scene in America is a little tense because of the oncoming regulations. There are reports that there's going to be a heavy crackdown on all the exchanges over there. So if I may say, I guess you guys are making a really bold move, because established American exchanges like Kraken, they have gone public and said that they would be okay to leave the US if the regulations are too harsh for them. So obviously, it's an uncertain move. You really don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm sure you have already factored in the possibility of regulations in your plan. So my question to you is, so do you think the regulations are going to affect your decision to stay in the US, or will you guys still persist, find your way through the regulations and still operate as an exchange over there?
I don't think regulation is something bad, to be honest. We've from the day one, from the day of like first launch of the product, we've been always very compliant and working closely with the regulators across the globe. I mean, for the US, you're absolutely right. It's a risky move for us, but we are willing to take that risk in order to get some advantage on the US market. Yeah. If the regulation is harsh, I still don't think that US is gonna be banning cryptos in any way. It's more likely that the cost of entering the market will increase after the regulation comes into force. And I mean, with us doing it now, I think we are getting some kind of an advantage than just to wait until the regulation comes to force and then start taking some actions on the US market afterwards. But again, as I said, we work very closely with the regulators across the globe. We are a DLT licensed company in Gibraltar. We are well established in Europe. And the fact that we are going to the US and building these relationships with the financial institutions and regulators in the US, we hope that will help us a lot. We just made a hire in the US, Steve Gregory, well-known guy from crypto industry, worked for big exchanges before, and he gonna lead this US effort of ours.
So Vitaliy, you joined Currency.com way back in Jan 2021. That's not a lot of months. So what were some of the most immediate strategies you brought with your arrival in the team?
So Currency.com has historically been a more about trading, less about investing. And this is something I'm bringing with me, more like a retailish focus on a developed markets. And I strongly believe that in order to grow the audience, you need to start early with them and then onboard them and then kind of give them additional products that you have in your ecosystem. And this is one of the focuses we're taking, again, in the US market as well. The other thing is payment diversification. Very few companies cares about local payment methods. So you see global exchanges that works with cards or wire transfers, right? And very basic trading pairs and currencies on the platform. Our goal is to build a global exchange with good liquidity offering and the alternative payment methods and fiat payment methods that are native for different countries and different regions. So it's easy for the Europe and the US, but then if you look across Southeast Asia or Latin America or Africa, you see each country has a huge number of different payment wallets and huge number of different payment methods. And we are aiming to support most of those.
So I know before the show started, we were having a small chat about Africa and South American countries and how crypto has evolved in these nations. So do you believe that the future is truly digital? And when I say digital, I mean payments maybe in the next 10, 20 years are going to be completely digital, no fiat cash at least. Fiat will be replaced by CBDCs, and then you have all these different crypto offerings, which are unique to every industry. So do you think that sort of a future is possible?
Yeah, I don't think cash is going anywhere, to be honest. Although I do think that we will see a rise of digital cash, not only in terms of cryptocurrencies, but centralized digital currencies as well.
So countries like China and Sweden have already developed their CBDCs. They're testing it out. Russia yesterday on a news report stated that they are also working very closely. It should be ready by the end of this year. So it looks like countries like US, which have for the longest time been closely associated with crypto, are actually on the back foot. So what are your views on that as well?
Don't think US is going to launch their own centralized cryptocurrency. It's a matter of Federal Reserve. Don't think this monopoly will go anywhere. But yeah, for the developing countries, developing economies, that might be a case. I'm not particularly in favor of national bank issued digital currencies, because it contradicts the whole idea of crypto, of being as a decentralized global currency.
Right.
And there is a lot of speculation around launching something decentralized, which is not actually decentralized, and using blockchain in a matter where you can use different technologies. I do believe, as I said, I do believe in digital future. That's absolutely true, and I'm absolutely sure that we will see a rise of decentralized economies and cryptocurrencies. But I'm not a huge fan of coins issued by central banks.
Right. So speaking of the global scene, Currency.com is currently listed in the number 32 position worldwide in CoinMarketCap, in the list of exchanges. That's pretty big. That's a huge number, which means you guys are definitely one of the top players in the world. My question to you is, do you wish for Currency.com to climb even higher up the ladder, A, and B, is, do you think rankings are important in order to attract customers to an exchange?
Statistically, yes, ranking is important. I mean, and obviously, yes, we want to get higher in the ranking. Although I can't say this is the only focus that we have in the company. This is one of the, let's say, marketing KPIs and marketing achievements, probably, right? And something that we might celebrate when we go to top 10 position. But we care more about the customer experience and the security on the platform rather than being top on the of the ranking.
Right. So tell us about some of the unique features of currency.com. Let's say that you're talking to somebody who already has an account in some other exchange. How would you convince them to shift to you guys? What differentiates you from the competition? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So we've discussed it a bit earlier that not just the cryptos, but we also offer tokenized assets in the areas where otherwise people won't be able to trade those assets. This is less relevant for the US and the developed Europe, obviously, but then for South America, for Southeast Asia, for Africa, for CIS region, these are the areas where people just can't buy shares of the well-established company. They can't buy commodities. They don't have this wealth management advantage that there is in developed countries. And this is one of the core features that we have on our platform. We basically we enable people to start educating themselves in terms of financial literacy and in terms of like wealth management, understanding personal finance early on.
There are new blockchain models coming up. So recently something known as proof of storage came up. Chia, I believe the token is called, utilizes, so instead of staking, you basically store the blockchain data onto hard drives. And that's how you mint tokens. So new technology is coming up every day, new methods are coming up every day. But then at the time being, proof of stake seems to be the most widely accepted one. Ethereum is also considering shifting to it with Ethereum 2.0. So do you think new product offerings will depend on the kind of blockchain model they're on?
It's not about the kind of blockchain model, it's about the common sense. So the proof of stake obviously has common sense, and it's proven itself to be an effective consensus model. Right. There are different, again, consensus models on different blockchains, but sometimes it does feel like people just trying to hype to invent something which might work, might not work. It's very similar to like a venture industry and startup industry, right? Where you get a bet. This bet may work out for you and may not. For the time being, I can see that proof of stake and proof of work are the most consistent and kind of proven itself consensus models.
Right. So the last question for this interview, then you can we can wrap it off, is what is currency.com's future looking like? Since you're the head of strategy, what is the strategy for the at least next 3 to 5 years that you have planned out for the expansion of the company?
Yeah, so we do plan to build, as I said, to build an ecosystem of the financial products around crypto and around investing and around trading. The offering will differs depending on the particular region. We've discussed before this interview started that there are different use cases for different regions for using cryptocurrencies. For developed world, it's obviously a matter of long-term investing, hodling. Okay. For developing countries, sometimes it's remittance, sometimes it's a matter of having a current bank account. Basically, there's no other way you can pay except of cryptos in particular areas. We stand for I don't like this phrase, democratizing access to financial system, because it's so kind of widely used. But basically, this is similar to what we are trying to do for Western countries. We want to make complicated things more simple and make people to invest in their first crypto portfolio very fast and in a very simplistic way. And then to understand the technology behind the cryptos and kind of spread or invest more into cryptos and grow the crypto portfolios percentage in terms of overall portfolio. For the developing countries, it's a matter of access to financial system in general.
Right. And I know you're expanding into US, but do you have any other country in mind at the moment that you'd want to expand into?
US is just one of the countries we're expanding to right now. So it's US, yes, we are also launching new products in Western Europe. We are going to establish an office in Asia as well and launch products for Asia. We are working hard on localization of our products because we strongly believe in like hyper local products with the relevant instruments available for different countries. We are also going to the South America, to Latin America as well.
Right. All right then, Vitaliy, it was great having you on the session. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for hosting me.
Any closing comments before we end this?
I mean, we live in a very interesting time, not just in terms of cryptocurrencies, but in terms of pace of changes that we experience right now. We are probably the first generation that's experienced everything from tape recorders to current technologies.
Right.
And I think we will be seeing just increase of pace technology-wise. And for me, it's obvious that cryptocurrencies will play an essential role in that evolution.
Right, and thank you so much for coming on the show, Vitaliy. It was great having this chat with you.
Thank you very much. Take care.